bum 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 bum.
Okay, we're live. Uh, reactive environment 2.4. We're at the halfway point. So we're going to continue to make our environment react to us. I did a little bit off stream, but not a ton really in Unity. I converted the door to use the system that we set up, the in editor events or whatever. So it behaves exactly the same way, but now it uses that like kind of smarter system, which is nice. And I also like decorated the inside of the fridge store with a bunch of fridges. But I mean, I really wouldn't want the layout to be like this in the end thing. I want the layout to be way more small and cluttered.
Mm-hmm.
So this was just for fun. I was doing this so I could push around fridges. And also just kind of see the scale, you know. I also set up the shadow to be like actually under a closed in area. It still doesn't really make perfect sense, but it's all right.
Yeah.
I guess actually I ended the last stream with not even having that working, huh? Yeah, now I can lerp between different materials. So you see how I kind of blend to the darker shadow when I'm in an area that's considered like covered, you know? So that's one way we could do like fake lighting with this kind of unlit shader we're using. But I'm sure we'll come up with more methods as time goes on. I also started working on a model for an NPC, but I'll show him once I've got more, like, a little bit more to show for him, but I worked on that off stream. I also spent a pretty good amount of time trying to figure out how to fix that fucking velocity thing where the direction is based on velocity, so weird shit like this always happens, where she doesn't know what way to face and she just, like, turns all over the place. And I didn't make any progress, and it was painful. So I'll have to come back to that. But yeah, other than that, not too much has changed, so we should be able to just pick right back up.
So, detecting appearing and disappearing objects. Right?
Yeah, I think that's where we are. I just realized I didn't have your stream on the OBS. There we go. Alright. Yeah, so I guess that's where we left off. Let me get that up.
I'm gonna get some water really quick.
Okay. Well, yeah, where we left off was we just got it working, adapting the system so that if we have a trigger volume, like what I have for the door over here, anytime I go in this oh, wrong door. But one of these, I don't know where it was. There's like actually a functional door. Yeah. If I stand in that volume, oh hey, floating hanger. If I stand in that volume, it gets counted as like, you know, on enter, and then when I leave, it's on exit. And the way we had it before is it would work on any prop going in and out, but that meant that if you go in and there was already a prop there and then that prop leaves, it triggers it leaving even though there's still something in the volume. So we set it up so that it only triggers on the first enter and the last exit, meaning that, you know, if there's something in the field that's considered like, you know, triggerable, it'll stay open regardless. And that allows us to do kind of fun stuff, like I could kick this can into the door's detection thing and it'll open up the door. So yeah, I was thinking of if maybe there's like a gameplay mechanic around that. Maybe it was like no kids allowed on the door, and like the scanner doesn't detect children somehow, like, and then you get around it by like kicking a can in front of it and then it opens. Just like silly, you come up with some silly gameplay ideas around that.
Mine is not working right.
What's the issue?
Once I added Once I added that second if to on trigger exit, it doesn't change when I leave.
Is
I
it
don't
because is
think
there
I.
something already in the field still?
No, I don't think so. It's above the ground. It's just me. I turn it
See how
blue
it
and then it
stays
does.
open just because this fridge is in the volume, so I can come and go through it fine, and it doesn't matter. It still stays open because there's something in the volume. But yeah, let's try to figure out your thing.
I guess let's just see what's different about the code.
Yeah, because it's a pretty simple code
Yeah.
within detection zone.
I
Oh,
mean, it's.
it's wait.
What am I missing?
Um,
If
colliders.
colliders dot remove other and so if colliders dot remove other, what is that? Oh, we're just adding. We have a list of colliders.
Well, I think it's saying if the collider has been removed, if a collider has been removed from the list, and the list equals 0, then invoke last exit, meaning there's nothing in the volume now.
Yeah.
So every time you remove something, it'll trigger that, and then it'll check,
Oh,
is it empty?
I know the problem. I just changed this to last exit, but you have to change it in the inspector again when you change the
Oh,
name,
that's
remember?
right. Yeah, you have to update the in editor.
Yeah. There it is.
Oh, I also did set it up so that when I go in water, my character gets like a blue tint. I guess I'll show that. Oh, and I'll spawn myself on the complete opposite side of the mall to show it. Did I make that in the pool? Yeah, let's go. I also imported some stairs from the other world that I had going. And it has the same like slope thing, so I don't go on each individual step. Nice smooth stairs experience. Yeah, see, now she kind of blew. It's a little weird that you like fade in and out of it though, but
The water system is so great.
yeah, I love it.
You can just turn you can just put anything on any trigger box, you can just put on the water layer and it acts like water. It's just if it's on the layer, that's all that makes a difference. I get why we don't program it into the box. We like program it into the ball.
That needs to have a little more buoyancy if I want to jump on it like that. Whatever. So did you get it then?
Yeah. Turns to ice, turns to water.
We have far from mastered all the elements.
Yeah, fire is hard actually. I don't know anything about particle systems.
Well, that's yeah. The fire, as far as like, that's like purely like a shader particle like visual thing. Because like, mechanics wise, fire's easy. It's just like a
Is
damage
it?
plane.
Well, not just. I mean, what if you want it to spread?
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
Fire spreads.
that's hard then. Wait, what the fuck?
Fire degrades things over time.
Whoa, there's an invisible fridge. Why is that happening? Where'd he go? But yeah, I didn't think about that. Like Breath of the Wild kind of smart water system or fire system.
Rust. Rust has pretty decently smart fire. Where there's like sparks, I guess. That's how there's like those things that come out of incendiary guns. And then those have a chance of setting a fire. and then fires on grass will like spit out little things every once in a while.
I didn't
Have you
know
ever
that.
noticed that?
I didn't. I mean, it doesn't like spread though, right? Like
It
onto like
does.
dry grass or any, or like wood or whatever.
If you do, the way it, they have the spark, they have like a little spark object that comes out of the incendiary gun and like explosive fire. So like um, the incendiary rockets will like shoot fire, and then that fire can spawn those sparks, and the sparks like shoot out in arcs. It's just random, and those can start fire on the grass.
Hmm.
But it goes out usually before it gets too big. I've seen it a lot in that PvE server I'm in because it gives you like a free mini that you can spawn whenever. You just have to get the gas, and I crash that shit all the time. So there's fire all the time. Like helis, when they crash, the enemy patrol helis, they also spawn that fire.
Yeah.
Rust they always do things at the right level of like depth, I feel like. It's not too complicated, but it's not like extremely simple either.
I don't get this. There's an invisible thing right here. I can't.
Oh,
I don't look. There's an invisible thing. I can't.
in
I don't.
scene mode, you can't see it.
Yeah, I can't even see it in scene mode.
Gizmos are maybe turned off or turned on. I don't know.
I don't know. Why can't I see it? What is this?
What happens when you click on it in
I
scene
like
mode?
can't. There's like it won't let me. I try to like click and drag. It's just acting like there's nothing there, but my character runs into it.
That's really weird.
The fuck is this? Hmm.
Is it part of like the building collider or something?
Oh, well, if it is, then it'll show up on other wings as well. Let's check
Right.
that. See if that same thing happens in a neighboring wing over here. Yeah, maybe Ghost Fridge needs to be adapted. Maybe that just kind of manifested itself into creation.
I don't know how you're gonna find it.
It was like around here. I don't know. I mean, I suppose. I feel like I just made a rigid body or a collider or something that like isn't attached to a fridge or something. Maybe if I click on all the fridges. Whatever. This is looking more and more like a off-stream thing. It's so bizarre though.
Yeah, that is super weird.
It's gonna select everything, I suppose. Oh, there it is.
Oh,
What is it? Is it this one? Oh, yeah, it is this one. Oh, it's a fridge that I deleted, but it still has the box collider and the rigid body tied to it, but it doesn't have a mesh anymore. I just didn't delete it properly, so it created a ghost fridge. Bye. There we go. Okay.
isn't there a Call of Duty game with a guy named Ghost? Or are they all have him now, right? Isn't he a character?
I mean, MW2 has a guy called Ghost, and then there is a Call of Duty called Call of Duty Ghosts.
But didn't they just add him to like
But yeah,
Warzone
I
or
think they did
Cold War or
add
something like
Ghost
that?
to the nuke to like Modern Warfare.
Yeah. Yeah, there he is.
He's pretty cool. Okay, let's
I was-
start.
When you said Ghost, I was thinking of soap.
The hell kind of name is Soap, anyways? Detecting appearing and disappearing objects. Seems like a. I guess this is another thing he's probably addressing in email or something. Where it's like, what if I want to destroy something while it's in the. I guess if you have like a chute that like destroys stuff or something, I suppose that is a good thing to take into account. Unfortunately, on trigger exit isn't reliable because it doesn't get invoked when a game object or their colliders are deactivated, disabled, or destroyed. Colliders shouldn't be disabled independently because that would result in bodies falling through geometry, so we're not going to support that. But we should be able to deal with the entire game object getting disabled or destroyed while they are inside the zone. Each physics step, we have to check whether the colliders in the zone are still valid. Add a fixed update method that loops through the collider list. If a collider evaluates to false, it means that either it or its game object has been destroyed. If that isn't the case, we have to check if its game object is deactivated, which we can find out via the active in hierarchy property of its game object. If the collider is no longer valid, remove it from the list and decrement the loop iterator. If the list is then empty, invoke the exit event. Okay. So just an extra check, just see if does this thing still exist. That makes sense.
Yeah, this is another example of him doing a smart, like, nested if, where the first, like, he knows that, like, if a collider evaluates to false, that means it's been destroyed. But if that's not the case, then it could be deactivated. So we check active in hierarchy, but we don't do that if it is destroyed. You know.
Sure, yeah, it doesn't have to be two separate ifs. It could be a for and an if within, like the way he does it.
Yeah.
That
And
is
this
very
way,
smart.
we only do half when we need to.
Isn't this gonna just fire over and over and over though? I guess is that
Only for when the collider count is greater than 0.
okay.
So it will check. It will check every frame, but it won't do anything else. It'll just check that eye.
It is likely that detection zones don't have objects in them most of the time. To avoid needlessly invoking fixed update continuously,
Oh, nice.
we can disable the component when it awakens and after the last collider exits. Then we only enable it after something enters. This works because the trigger method always gets invoked regardless whether a behavior is enabled. That's pretty good to know.
We're taking advantage of something, yeah. I think I need to read that again. Oh, okay. That's good. So I was thinking whether or not we keep on trigger exit if it's unreliable. But that's good that we sort of have a double-sided.
So we're disabling detection zone. We're not disabling the actual volume itself, right? That's why it's still able to detect the volume because like it seemed like how is it going to detect anything if it's disabled, you know? I've had this problem before with the camera. I tried to set it up where I had two cameras and it would disable one and activate the other, and then it would go backwards. It would deactivate this one and activate this one. But when I went to go reactivate the other one, it would just say like there is no camera. Like you deactivated it. Like there's no camera to activate. I guess it was weird.
Well, where does he? We don't even use enabled anywhere.
I think that's just like a system. I think it's just like a system thing. Like it's just that little check next to stuff in the editor. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If you type enabled, does it come up as something special?
Yeah. It's bool behavior dot enable, I guess.
Huh.
but enabled behaviors are updated, disabled behaviors are not. Oh, so it just has to do with update, I think.
Hmm.
So if they're not enabled, all the updates aren't running, and if it is enabled, then it runs the updates. I feel like we should put that on like everything that
Yeah, I
uses
was
an
gonna say
update now.
that seems so critical.
It's crazy that we're just we're just learning about that. But yeah, I'll have to keep that in mind for sure. That's optimization. Um, Next, we should also deal with the zone game object itself getting deactivated or destroyed, as it makes sense to invoke the exit method when that happens while something is still in the zone. We can do both by adding an onDisable method that clears the list and invokes the exit event if the list isn't empty. That sounds like now we're getting like too specific. I can't think of a need for that, right? I guess like
For what? I didn't
if the
understand that.
volume itself gets disabled, it should
Hmm.
return on. It should fire on last exit. It should treat that as an exit and clear the list to be empty. So like I guess if we have like a door that has a laser sensor on it and you want to be like we're closed, the laser sensor doesn't work anymore, you would just disable the volume. I suppose that's one case where that would be useful.
I guess I still don't totally get this case.
I just imagine you have specifically in this case with the door that I have set up. I have the
Yeah.
volume and then the door that's activated by it. If there's something in the volume, so it's getting counted as like firing, it's counting as on, and then I disable this whole thing, it would keep firing as if there's something there even though the volume's gone. So he's putting a thing that says if it gets disabled and there's stuff in there, it'll return the exit and clear the list to be empty. So it'll behave as if there's nothing there because there isn't.
I think the idea is just so that you don't keep a list of colliders when it's disabled.
Yeah. Well, I
But I
think
could see
it
like,
also fires on last exit though,
oh yeah,
or it invokes it. I mean,
note that the detection zone's component shouldn't be disabled by other code as it manages its own state. The general rule is to not disable the detection zone component nor any individual colliders that could affect the zone. Those game objects should be deactivated or destroyed in their entirety. What does that mean? Disable is different than deactivate?
well, I think it's in their entirety. So I think he's saying you wouldn't disable just detection zone, the script. You would
Oh,
disable
right.
the entire object.
The only thing I can think of, have you watched anybody play Splitgate, or have you played Splitgate?
Oh yeah.
You, I watched somebody play Splitgate, and I remember them talking about how you can destroy somebody's portal with a grenade.
Oh okay.
So that was something that immediately came to mind. Was like, if you had like you know, a vacuum thing, some sort of like gravity area, and you threw a grenade at it and it made it break, you know? Some like force pulling thing, and then you shoot at it and it's destroyed. I feel like I've seen that in Destiny.
I feel like I have a more general case too.
Hmm.
What if you have a fire that's like a damage field, and you're within it, you're taking damage, and then you put out the fire.
Yeah.
You would just keep taking damage even though the fire was gone.
Hmm.
Okay, so this is more general than I thought it was. It felt very specific, but I think we could come up with a good handful of examples if we sat here for a bit longer.
Yeah.
So I think that's good.
When it comes to like talking about deactivating or destroying something, I always think about like destroying an object in code. I feel like I always think about grenades.
Yeah.
That's like the thing that destroys code to me. I guess because of spending a childhood on Newgrounds.
I mean, I remember like the first thing I did with like an interaction system where it was like a raycast that you could just
Hmm.
like interact with things. It was just destroy it when you hit E on it So it was just
Yeah.
like you could just eat all these physics objects. I would like to implement something like that here. That wouldn't be too hard. Just some sort of an interact system where I could like pick up things and like launch them or eat them, I guess. All right. Hot reloads. I don't know what that means. Because hot reloads recompilation while in editor play mode, will invoke on disable. It breaks the rule that we just declared. This will result in exit events getting invoked in response to a hot reload, after which objects already in the zone will be ignored. Fortunately, we can detect a hot reload in on disable. If both the component is enabled and the game object is active, then we have a hot reload and shouldn't do anything. This is also the case when the component is destroyed while the game object isn't, but we ruled that this shouldn't be done. We only need to check this while playing in the editor, so we can wrap the code in if Unity editor and end if. So this is strictly for us testing. This wouldn't actually affect the game at all.
Yeah, I bet he like ran into a problem and wrote this to fix it.
So yeah, this is another email question.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense that we have a thing that like that happens on disable. So when we press stop, it like that's like a complicated form of disabling something.
Well, I think isn't he saying it's specifically when you like recompile shit while you're in play mode and you don't leave play mode? I thought that's what so a hot reload is you are in play mode. I could do one right now. You're in play mode and then you make a change to the script and then you go back and then it loads this.
Oh, that's what it is.
And bam,
Yeah.
that was a hot reload.
Okay. I never do that.
I don't either. Oh, look, but it did it.
Yeah.
The problem is happening. Oh, shit. So yeah, I guess that kind of proves it. But wait, I just fixed that, I thought. Well, I guess let me actually do the reload. Okay, yeah, I guess that did fix it. I don't know.
Yeah, there's a couple, like a lot of the ones in basics, his tutorials will include stuff where it's like he'll like write stuff a certain way specifically so that he doesn't have to press play every time. It'll just like work once the code, like he can update it with play mode on and it'll change.
Which is probably
Which I guess,
smart.
I think that's like that's like a benchmark for the not object oriented, data oriented. I think that's like how you achieve data oriented. If it's like everything is built off of methods, then it can run without like it doesn't have to recompile, I guess. Or it doesn't have to rebuild. I don't know.
Well, here's a little more complicated spin on it. This was only a simple demonstration of what can be done via events. You can create more complex behavior by adding more entries to the event list. You don't have to create a new method for this. You can use existing ones. The restriction is that it have to be void method. He's
Dutch. He's Dutch. Say it all in a Dutch accent and it'll sound
I don't know
perfectly.
what Dutch sounds like.
I don't either, but
the restriction
you'll lower your expectation a little bit, I think.
Dutch from Deutschland. It's
That's
like
Germany.
The restriction is that it have to be void methods or property setters that match the event's parameter list, or have at most a single serializable parameter. For example, I set things up so that the levitation zone is turned off while there's something inside the detection zone, besides changing the visualization of the field itself. How is he doing these, like, visualizations, I guess? I guess, is that just a transparent material he's made?
Yeah. Usually when he does that, he just says he made a semi-transparent material. I'm always on the lookout for how he does shader stuff, and he's very simple about it.
So how would I go about making this box show up? I just make...
It should have an alpha. Materials usually, or
Well, it doesn't have a
under,
material on it, so I have to create a box overlapping it first, like this, and then
Wait, I
turn
can't
off its
see it.
collider or something. Oh, well,
Uh,
here, it's this. And then I'm saying, do I have to create a box in that spot and then apply the material to that
for what?
to make it, like, visible? To make this box visible, how do I do this?
Is it doesn't look like that in the game.
No.
It's invisible. So it just doesn't have a material on it.
But how do I put a material on a collider?
You just add a mesh renderer component, and a mesh filter component. And mesh renderer, you choose the mesh for it. Or I mean mesh filter, you choose the mesh to use. I think you can just drag it on from the screen. Yeah, that's not gonna work.
Why is it like... Why is it all fucked? I guess because they're overlapping in the exact same spot, huh?
Wait, are there two objects there?
No.
It's just one box?
Well, there's this box, but it's pointless. I just deleted it. I think it's just the outline of the gizmo. Yeah, if I hide gizmos, it looks normal. So I guess I have to make a material. I'll make a duplicate of this, and then I bring the alpha down. How do I bring the alpha down?
Hold on. You have to go to surface type and change it to transparent. Surface type. Yeah. You got it already.
And then where's the alpha?
Base map, I think. Yeah.
Well, I'm using a mission though.
Oh.
Can I do that?
Just don't do it, I guess, for this, for semi-transparent. Yeah.
Oh, I can do it.
Oh, okay, good.
It didn't show up.
Oh.
Because I didn't have the material set properly. I'm dumb. Okay.
Nice. That's a relief.
And now I have levitation zone that is visible in play mode. That's good. I was trying to figure that out earlier. And then now I need to make like a button. I didn't realize that didn't have collision, but whatever. So yeah, now I need to make like a button thing that'll trigger it. So I guess it'll just be this again. Box collider, just so I can actually stand on it. I'm gonna do that here too. This thing probably should have a box collider. And then I will create, I'll just make a duplicate of this guy. Scale it way the fuck down. So wait, so I need to add a material swap aspect to this volume as well then. Material selector. And then make material 1 the transparent red, and then make material 2, I guess. Or wait. I guess I'll just make a transparent green and have that be like on. But I don't think that's what he's doing. He's just like turning off the material. Whatever. And then the mesh renderer is that.
So what did he add? I don't totally get this.
I don't know
Is he
yet.
just
I'm still
he's
setting
just doing
up
an
the scene.
example using other things, but he has this Boolean now. This is a simple demonstration of what can be done with events. You can create more complex behavior by adding more entries to the event lists. That's what he did.
Did he create a Boolean in acceleration zone that just like on or off, or does he just disable the thing completely? Oh yeah, it's game object set active.
Yeah, so he just adds that to his. Well, where are these events? Is that in detection zone?
Yeah.
Yeah. Default, and then just add a new one.
I need to make a fridge is empty. This is annoying. I have so many things. Okay.
Wait, I think. Oh, you don't have to do anything with the code. You just press the plus, and it adds another thing to on first enter, on first exit, or on last exit.
Oh, very nice.
So this is also like a push a block onto a button so it keeps a thing turned off.
Oh yeah.
That's what this is. Like in combination with the first enter, last exit. Actually, that makes quite a bit of sense. Wait, no, never mind. I misunderstood it to begin with, and I'm connecting it. Never mind. But I was thinking you'd probably deactivate a button once, or like in a Zelda game, if you were to push a block onto a button and then the door comes up, if you push the block away, the door usually stays up. They usually deactivate the button at that point.
Well, it depends on the game. Portal is like the
Yeah.
opposite of that.
Well, yeah, Portal is like total physics. But in like dungeons, a lot of times,
It's like, but it's just like a trigger.
yeah,
It's just like, did you do the right thing? Whereas in Portal, it's like, is this thing here? Is this thing here? Is this thing here?
yeah. I guess I'm thinking of like Link to the Past.
Oh, whoops.
Like the 2D Zelda game definitely had that kind of thing. Oracle of Ages. Once the door's open, it just doesn't close.
Wait, how? Why did? What? I'm confused. Why does he have a materials changer? Oh, it's for the button. I see. Okay, never mind. So that shouldn't. It should be here. Material selector here. Material 1 is red, clear. Material 2 is green, clear. So how does he have it set up? Pushing the button disables it? Okay, yeah. I guess I could do that too, whatever. Why is this not working? Oh, I didn't. Okay, I didn't do the mesh renderer.
So I just added some. I just did the Zelda thing I was talking about, where things just get unlocked.
So you made like a door open or something when you hit it?
I just made it so that this appears when I go in the zone, and then it doesn't go away.
Okay, very nice.
I just didn't put anything in on last exit.
Oh, shit, look, it like lerps. I didn't even mean to do that. That's kind of cool,
Where?
though. The button that I set up,
Oh yeah.
I didn't even mean to do that. I forgot.
It's just because it's in material selector.
Yeah, I just changed material selector. I forgot about that.
That looks good though.
I kind of like it, though, yeah.
Especially with the alpha, I feel like. Or wait, no, that's not with the alpha.
Cool. I should probably have something in the levitation zone to actually demonstrate this. I'll put a barrel there.
This gun could be or some approximation of picking up.
Yeah, I want some way to move props around. This is like the most annoying thing. That there's not really a way to do that. And it's also just fun as hell. Big box. Fall. Rise. Fall. Rise. That's cool. Bam. This shit's cool. Oh, and I can also put any object here, right? Yeah. Haha. Come on, bike. Oh, this shit's so light. Yeah, right now I can kind of do it by just like running into the props, but it would be great if we had like a pickup system. That's on my to make list. Just like some sort of object picking up and moving system. One idea I had is if you could like, if you had an empty that was on like near your character, kind of above her head, and it's programmed to just like orbit you, and it has a small gravity source tied to it, and then when you like hit E on objects, it will like be affected by that gravity source now, so it'll kind of just orbit you in this like cloud of physics objects.
That's cool.
I had that idea. I wanted to play with that.
That is a good idea.
And then also when you hit E, it goes like poof, and like shoots forward from whatever point it's at, like towards your cursor.
Mm.
So you could kind of just have a cloud of things, then go like and just like shoot them at stuff. That was one system I had in mind that feels really attainable. I feel like I would have a general idea of how to do that, but it would also challenge me in a lot of ways.
That's definitely a Hangler thing.
That also, yeah, that would be like that would be early hangers when you're just like, it's just like a handful of hangers around you. But when we get to hanger clouds, you can't do that anymore. This is cool. Okay.
We're at simple movement.
What?
We're at 3.
You don't always have to respond to both events for everything. You could have something trigger only on enter or on exit. For example, activating something when a zone gets entered Exiting then won't deactivate it, and re-entry would activate it again. Look at you, ahead of the curve.
Oh yeah.
Can this event-based approach be used for entire games? Theoretically, yes, and it's great for quick prototyping, but it gets cumbersome. Once you find yourself repeating a complex pattern, it makes sense to create a dedicated method or behavior for it, which should be much simpler to work with and could be optimized later if necessary. So yeah, I guess that makes sense. All right. One final case. So do you think we'll finish it? How much more is there?
Themes. This is like two things, it feels like.
So I mean, we could leave simple movement for next stream, and we could just fill like, the next 10, 20 minutes with just like something, or we could just try to get through simple movement. What do you think?
I don't know, actually. I'm down for either.
Well, I guess let's think, what would we do in Unity right now? Like, we could create ourselves kind of like a little small challenge, you know what I mean, using this?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's a way that we can twist this idea and come up with something cool?
Deactivating and activating something. Well, I think then if you look at the very last GIF, I feel like that's the stuff that we would do a lot with.
Oh yeah.
Like opening gates and stuff. That's like what you would do with.
See, and I feel like
activation
we could
zones.
do that right now, but he's gonna show a way smarter way to do it.
Yeah, he's like, oh, whoa. Oh, never mind. I misunderstood what I was seeing. He's got a thing where the bottom of one of his like moving platforms pushes you through the ground. On first glance, I thought you were pushing through inside it, so it was picking him up.
I like his fix for that. That is so smart. Do you see that?
Yeah. That's how to do it.
He just makes a little inverted pyramid instead. That's so clever.
How does he edit that?
Maybe we should just go through simple movement.
Yeah, I mean, this is the last important one.
We could probably wrap this up. Yeah. Well, I mean, there's also rolling. I don't know. I guess we should probably do rolling. You should definitely do rolling because you still have a ball, but I don't have a ball anymore. So I don't know.
Yeah, so you would have to change your shit considerably.
Yeah. But I'd be willing to go through it on stream still and just be more focused on yours. But whatever. One final case we'll cover in this tutorial is moving environmental objects. Intricate movement can be done via animations, which could be triggered with a detection zone, which is what I'm doing with the door. But often a simple linear interpolation between 2 points would suffice. For example, for doors, elevators, or floating platforms. So let's add support for that.
Is Half-Life doesn't have rotating doors, right?
I think it does. Yeah, like you make the glass rotating doors.
Does it?
Yeah, Half-Life 1. I know the exact area. Remember when the first G-Man meeting in HLVR AI? Mm-hmm. They're at a glass sliding door. And remember they said they were stuck there for like an hour? Like they couldn't get through it?
I don't remember the first area.
Let me bring it up. I bet you I can bring this up hella fast. I feel like I know exactly where it is.
There was some I guess I'm just thinking of Gmod doors. But even then they were fine. There's some big game I remember that had like all the doors were sideways moving, like barn doors. not even barn doors, like sliding glass door.
Well, remember in Gmod, if you could like force anything to be a door, it
Yeah,
goes like
that's probably
and like slides.
that's what I'm thinking of. I'm just thinking of the door property in Hammer that gave it that. That's
That's
I'm just
honestly
thinking of
so
Hammer.
funny.
Yeah, it's the best.
I'm glad they used that in here. Okay, I'm too
Can you
far
call these
now.
animals?
Do, 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 do.
It's when they go to the surface and they're fighting the helicopter.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't quite remember when that is. Oh wait, it's around here. Yeah, right here.
Yeah, I just don't remember the door.
Directly behind him, there's a glass sliding door. I'm pretty sure it gets in the episode too. On the other side of
Yeah.
this door, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, there it is.
Oh yeah, there it is.
They got like stuck on this.
It's electric. Why do we? You don't need these doors.
This is breakthrough.
Oh, damn. Ah!
It's making me sick.
Yeah. Where did he go? Where's Cat like? Oh, he's on the dodgeball. No matter what gets interpolated, it's conceptually controlled by a slider that goes from 0 to 1. How that value gets changed is a separate issue from the interpolation itself. Keeping the slider separate also makes it possible to use it for multiple interpolations. So, we'll keep an automatic slider component dedicated to this value. It has a configurable duration that must be positive. As we'll use it to animate physics objects, we'll have it increase its value in the fixed update method, making sure it doesn't overshoot. Once the value has been reached 1, we're done and can disable the slider. God, every little bit that we do, I think back to that like level that I built in Unreal. I don't know if you remember that, like that room where there was like the 3 buttons.
Yeah.
There was like a big screen. I'm just drawing it for the sake of the stream now. I know you know it, but it was like this, and there were like 3 buttons, and then this one was a secret, and it would like go down and become an elevator. And the way I did the elevator was like, I basically just had like this tall object. It was just like a big fucking rectangle, and I just said like every frame add this much in the X or in the Y direction, basically. Like add 0.01 in the Y every frame. So like if my frames dropped at all,
Yeah.
it didn't make it up all the way to the top, so you'd be like here and then the elevator's like this. You're just like, fuck, how do I get up there? So my fix to that was after a certain amount of time, I measured how long it should take. So let's say it was like 5 seconds. So after 5 seconds, I just said the location, the height of this object equals this. So it would just go like zzz, and like
Yeah.
so if you were standing on it and it got in that case, it would fucking launch you like a catapult. Like I just had so many dumb like ways of handling shit like that, and just seeing this, it's just like so easy.
You had that like big zombie, not like that mutant guy
Yeah.
with the claw that would just like wander around.
I also had pool time guy walking around in there,
Yeah.
and he it's both. I still don't know how to fucking do ragdolls. I still have like no idea how to do ragdolls in Unreal, but that was like when it was really bad. So like
Yeah.
if you shoot pool time guy, his ragdoll is so weird. He like
I
rolls
figured
as
it
a
out.
giant ball and then has little pieces of like hot dogs just flopping around everywhere.
Do you remember I had that like bunny that I put in Unreal that one time?
I don't think so. No, did you model it or you just like?
Yeah, I just did a really quick like model of a bunny doll
I don't
and
remember
just
that.
to try out ragdolling, and I got his ears and arms to flop correctly and everything. You had to like make the capsules by hand in in Unreal though. It It was really annoying. There's like no automated way I could find.
Well, here I remember I made videos of me going through all these old game projects like this, just in case I ever lost them. I'd still have them archived, so I can actually bring up the very first pull time model. That this guy, this guy's so funny.
Yeah, let's just do this. We don't need to. We don't need to continue with cat like.
Here he comes. He chases you.
That's right. I forgot about the side room with the.
And I put the ball drop game in here too.
Yeah,
I made it like this was actually like the coolest thing I made in Unreal. I feel like
ball drop.
the ball drop, but it spits out tickets, and you could spend those tickets on a little store behind you, and buy like benefits, and then also you could spend the tickets on more tokens, and it like cost tokens to play the game, and I like hid tokens all over the level. Like I want to do more shit like that for sure. I just had a lot of fun with this.
It looks like so many like VR games.
Yeah. Well, because I just used all the built-in basic default
Yeah.
shit.
Just like so many developers.
So if you
I mean,
buy
that's
the
what it's
golden
there for.
ball and then you use the golden ball here, then you get double whatever you won on the thing. Like I had like mechanics. It was crazy
Yeah.
that like that actually worked. But yeah, and then there's the big golem guy that's just roaming. I think I might have disabled him for this demo actually. And I also just have an AK for no reason.
He's the thing that sticks out to me, I think, the most because he there was just a fire.
And I have my taking damage sound effects. They're all just me.
It's funny that it's a perfectly. Oh wait, no. This is the video of the editor. I thought this was the Unity editor, and you had just put the video in the.
No, I just screen recorded myself playing it in the editor. Oh, there is the monster guy. He's just dead.
Yeah, you see him in tutorials for Unreal sometimes. So every
Yeah.
once in a while, I get a reminder.
See, I
Hey,
did
there it
I
is.
did the button press.
Yeah. And those guys are just walking, whether the door is open or not.
Yeah.
I assume. Not to
No,
shit
why would
on
I
you.
put anything else? No, yeah. Another thing I really like about this, I have like a weird nostalgia for the sound effects in this game, because I just made
Oh,
all
yeah.
of them with your MIDI board. So
Oh,
it just
yeah,
has
yeah.
such a weird vibe to it, but I love how it sounds. But I want to reuse a lot of these sound effects for sure.
I need to get my board fixed.
This is also
One
when
of
I
the
had
keys is
zero
loose.
3D modeling whatever practice.
Yeah.
So everything is just made out of like Unreal assets, like that. The burger, it's just a cylinder. It's just a cylinder shrunk down with two like cubes over it, and then it has
Honestly-
the wood texture on the bun.
It could be fun to try and just do a shovelware jam
Yeah.
with Unity assets. Let me see if I'm just gonna look at the free assets and see if it's as many as I think it is, or if it's like very select.
And I still like this idea of the buttons that are also secretly platforms.
Hmm.
I like a lot of the ideas that are in this little demo, but like, oh, I just realized your screen's been big this whole time. God damn it.
Every
Whatever.
time. Mine's the less interesting one.
Well, it's because you say a
It's
thing,
the-
and I'm like, oh, let me
Oh,
highlight
yeah.
his thing, and then I forget, and I just leave it up.
Maybe in OBS you can do like a. I think you could do a timer in OBS.
To like auto reset back.
Yeah.
I also
But let's
really want to
see.
remake that crowd. The crowd thing. I feel like that would be so much funnier in Unity, especially if we
There's-
have like custom like NPCs that we've made.
There are 2,600 free assets in the Unity store. We could make like anything we wanted, I feel like, with a lot of this shit. There's a free FPS pack. There's food. This one's by Unity Technologies, so this is just Unity made that one.
I don't know if I want to do that though. I feel like so
Not for
much
our
fun of
games,
it.
but like for practice, for like a shovelware jam, where we like
Maybe
find a bad game and try and replicate what they do, like or like what they look like, I guess, but try and improve it, you know?
I just feel like so much of the fun of it is making the assets too for me now.
Yeah, that's true.
But I guess it's a good way to focus.
Banana Man.
We should use Robo Baby Guy. I forgot about him.
Oh yeah.
This is a good IP we made. This is another like weird thing that just came out of us practicing Unreal. This whole thing is just you have these little babies that follow you around, and they'll like orbit around you once they all stand still eventually.
Dance animations
Oh, look
for
at that.
free.
But then you could pick them up, and once you pick up a baby, you could kick him, and he'll ragdoll if you just tap the kick. But then if you like click and charge the kick, I think I show that pretty soon here. Yeah,
I feel like baby
he like
kicker
hit
guy.
stands and explodes.
I feel like the baby kicker guy looks a little too close to Spider-Man
Oh
in the
yeah,
face, but the babies look great. I think that I have absolutely no qualms at all with the baby's design. I think it's Venom. Venom is what I'm thinking of, not even Spider-Man.
well, the purple one with all those spikes on his shoulder.
Oh well, yeah. Definitely the
The alts are
The-
way cooler.
alts are, but the eyes are like they were intentionally like, yeah, Spider-Man's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, this is just such a weird idea, but it's cool that we could make this work. But yeah, the whole idea was that you would eventually. The idea tied to this game, I remember, was that you could kick babies and then shoot them with like an age ray, and you hit them, and then they'll grow up and become an adult, but that kills you because it ages you too, and you like become an old man and die. So then you play as the baby that you shot with the age ray. So you gotta like kick the baby up to a high platform, become the baby, hit a button, and then like jump back down or something. And you could like trade babies in, and they all had their own special traits, and you could like breed them essentially, but not like that, like with like an ATM machine that you like dump them into. It was really, I liked that idea a lot. I'm glad it's all in the Miro still, so it's not like it's lost. But we could definitely come back to that one day.
This is a free thing from Unity. Unity, the company, made these rocks and plants. You just make an environment with that.
Yeah, that's why I haven't really like done any practice with like landscape or grass or trees or rocks or cliffs or whatever, just because there's
Yeah.
so many built-in components for that. And that's like one of the main things that I'm like totally okay with just repurposing assets on, because like it's a rock, like it's not like you're
Yeah.
gonna.
Unless you have a very distinct style.
Yeah, and even with the unlit shit, like we could just take a rock, decimate it, and then just draw some stone texture on it. Like I'm sure we'll get to that point eventually. But
I
as of
kinda
right now,
wanna-
it's been like low priority for me.
I'm convincing myself of like make stuff with no dedication to the assets, just for
It's
practice.
very good practice. That's what I see a lot of people online do. Whenever you look into like these like game dev adventure videos, you know, they'll
Yeah.
always start off with assets that they get online and just focus on the mechanics, and then they'll work in stuff. That's probably a
could-
better workflow.
I think I just I've gotten to the point where I have very little pride over my own assets, you know.
Yeah.
I don't have that much skill in it. But I feel like I could maybe lay things out in a good way, or at least try to.
Well, I think that's definitely a good idea. That's definitely something you should give a shot, because like the more in Unity practice we get right now, the better. I think we're both at a point
Yeah.
right now where if we had somebody that was like, I'm a Unity professional, let's make a game together, you guys just handle the Blender, I feel like we would be perfect. Like we could do that just fine right now, you know?
Yeah.
Whereas if it was the opposite, we would be fucked. So I think we need to get more to the point where we're more competent in Unity. So yeah, I'd say definitely look into that. Just download some like asset pack that's like, you know, make your own fucking what's the word? Escape the room game, you know, escape room
Yeah.
game. There's a bunch of assets for it.
I remember in Unreal I had a bunch of free things, and one of those was it was like a character dialogue system that someone had put for free for like a week, and I got it.
Nice. Yeah, we definitely need to make that. That's another thing that like I feel like once we're done with Cat-like, I mean, well, you'll probably keep doing the shader shit. Maybe we'll do the shader, some of the shader stuff. So maybe this is further off than I'm thinking. But either way, we could start just being like, you know, let's make a dialogue system today, you know?
Yeah.
And then we'll be like, all right, we'll pick up where
It's
we
the
left
little
off.
start.
And we could, I think we could adapt other people's systems. There's one
Yeah.
in, what did I say? The GDC talk for Long Hike or whatever. He specifically
Short hike.
or a short hike. Yeah, he specifically name drops a dialogue tree system that he used.
Oh yeah, I remember I was gonna look that up and I never did.
But I'll just get it right now. I don't remember what the name of it was.
Cool. That yeah, I that totally forgot about that. I was gonna say though, I think I do want to try the original HLSL shader system that Unity has instead of URP, because I learned that URP is especially good for the photorealism type of games.
I mean, yeah, I'm pretty indifferent on that. I don't really know either way.
All the stuff that I find that is like, ooh, this looks great, I want this. It's the other one. It's only like tutorials that are really easy to follow are in URP, because URP is
automatically
simpler.
kind of take care of a whole bunch
But
of
it's
controllers
gonna
at
be, I feel like it's
once.
actually gonna look better
And I think
the other way.
Set of script assets directly inside Unity. Made it really easy. The normal of the map. Code a bit so that tools for my game or import them at weird slopes. And I knew a lot of
Oh yeah, and the terrain painting was really cool.
So like just exploring if I'm meeting anybody, introduce me, but I could go and I thought.
This is a good talk. This is a really good talk.
Yeah. Something I noticed in another video I was watching today was the thing that the guy was making was tools for himself.
Here it is. Hold on.
As I mentioned earlier, the art style
Let me see if he name dropped it.
was something that allowed me to make a lot of assets faster. But I was also able to carry over many tools and techniques that I'd used on previous projects. For example, I used a yarn spinner to...
Yarn spinner.
Yarn spinner. Yeah, someone I was watching, they were making, this is called Fleece. Fleece is a text and dialogue management system. That's probably what it is called now. Maybe it's different.
It seems like this is still active. Yarn Spinner helps you build branching narrative and dialogue in games. It's easier for writers to use and has powerful features for integrating content straight into your game. So it seems like this has to do more with like dialogue branches and shit like that.
Yeah.
Whereas we'd still have to integrate like making it interactable on characters in the game. Okay. We'll begin by playing the example game that comes with Yarn Spinner. It's very short. Blah, 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 blah. The Yarn Spinner stores its dialogue in .yarn files. These are plain text files, which means you can edit them with any plain text editor.
Is this free?
I think so, yeah.
That's very surprising. Wow.
Your first line of code checks if this node has, the first line of code in this node checks if yarn spinner's already run into this node. That's pretty cool. So you could have it do something separate depending on how many times you've talked to them, and that's all just in yarn spinner already. So here's a good one. If not visited, Sally watch. If Sally warning and not visited, Sally sorry. We do a check, and if it passes, we add an option. Options are things that the player can select. And in this game, there are things the player can say, but like lines, it's up to the game to decide what to do with them. Options are shown to the player when the end of the node is reached. Yeah, this could be a thing we just spend a whole day on, or a whole stream on at least. But I think maybe we should do the Mix and Jam Animal Crossing video, and then do this and like incorporate this into it. Because I think
Mix and Jam?
the Mix and Jam, that YouTube channel that I keep bringing up.
What did they do for Animal Crossing?
The dialogue system.
The voices though, or the
No, like the actual interaction. He
Oh,
did the
okay.
voices in like 2 seconds at the end.
Oh, nice.
But
He
yeah, he goes through the whole thing of like making it interactable, making specific words be like highlighted or shaking, making the model change with certain words, make the pace of the words change, so it's like they're talking really fast or they're talking really slow.
There he is.
Yeah, Mix and Jam. I think his name's Jamo. Yeah.
Added and filtered from the text.
Yeah, Mix and Jam. I think this is something we should start doing eventually. Is we should start following Mix and Jam videos. So we'll just start off with this one, maybe. I don't know. It
This is a
depends on
cool
how
robot.
we feel.
Look at this guy. I like the arm things a lot.
It looks good, yeah.
The like circular. That's very nice looking.
Okay.
Box.
But yeah, I think, down the road we'll start just being like, let's open up this Mix and Jam video and let's make shit along with it, and we'll kind of duplicate his thing and then make variants on that. So I think one course we could do is if we follow the Animal Crossing dialogue and then integrate Yarn Spinner into that. Because I feel like I would like to have a little bit of both. Because it seems like Yarn Spinner is like pretty strictly focused on the branching trees, whereas the Animal Crossing video he shows here, you can control a lot more of like the specifics of like, highlighting specific words and making the model react to it and shit like that. So I feel like I'd like a little bit of both.
Yeah. Does he go over the text? What's it called? I don't even know. Text scrolling, I guess, where like it comes in.
Yeah. And he
Did you
goes
say
in like
that and I missed
controlling.
it?
He goes into controlling that and the like pace that they come into.
Change the look of the text.
Perfect.
But for this particular project,
So yeah, this one I did say this a little bit, but he basically allows you to control the speed that it scrolls in. He allows you to highlight specific words by making them bold or bigger or shake or like just weird shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he also made it so that you can do like dot 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 and like pauses on that, and then they'll keep talking and then it'll go dot dot dot.
That's great.
So you can have like in the same speech bubble, you can have the pace change.
Yeah.
It's like a really cool system. I mean, it's basically exactly how Animal Crossing works. Like,
Mm-hmm.
he did a very good job with that. So I think we should just adapt that and then make some changes to it and make it more our own. Because that sounds like a fun system. So hopefully I'll have my guide done by then. I guess I could just show the guy since we're about to end anyways. Do you want to show your guard?
There's been no progress.
Have you shown him on stream at all though?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. But yeah, I don't have any textures on the guy yet, but
I think you can tell what kind of guy he is.
Yeah, I have the drawings here. There's that, and then the side profile. Well, you can't really see because this guy's in the way, but you get the idea. But yeah, I think you can read a lot about his expression still, kind of through just the polys of it. And I got him somewhat rigged. It's not perfect yet. I just kind of did the basics, automatic weights. But it's so funny. His proportions. Look at his monkey ass proportions. His fingers almost drag along the ground. But I kind of like just accepting these fucked proportions from my base sketches now. I'm kind of coming around to that.
You could probably fit him in the ball to do a monkey ball type thing.
Yeah. But yeah, I think we're about done for today. We're gonna probably wrap everything up on the next stream. I think we were kind of just killing time because I think there's enough on the tutorial to be a full day still, you know?
Yeah.
I think we just both kind of noticed that. I got the boob jiggle bones and the belly jiggle bones. And then like collar bones, but like shirt collar. I gotta make it so it doesn't affect his face though.
Oh yeah.
But you get it just a little bit in case I like to. Oh, this is also weird. His face is still being affected. It's just pure automatic weights right now, so it's like really bad.
Yeah.
But I know how to fix all of this, so it's no problem. I also noticed like I don't need a neck bone. He just goes straight from head to chest.
He doesn't have a neck.
Doesn't have a neck, so
That works.
it works without it. Yeah. That's the thing about not making VR chat avatars. If I'm just making just a character, I can make the rig whatever the fuck I want. Like, it doesn't matter. It's kind of freeing, yeah. So I'm just like, I wish I could control this collar, so I'll just put a bone there, and oh, I can. Why not? It doesn't matter. I also stole the hands from every other character I've made, basically. It's like the same hands as Julia and Minota and the security guard and this guy. All have the same base hands. I just deform them to make them all fat. He's got big ass hands. But yeah, we'll go ahead and call it there. So tomorrow we're probably going to wrap up simple movement. So this is just going to be the environment moving around and interacting based on stuff that we do. Which again is that's an integral piece of this whole thing. I have an idea of how we would do that, but you know, this is cat-like, so he's going to come up with some super clever way to do it. So we'll see what kind of shit he comes up with tomorrow. Or next stream, whenever we do it. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'll go ahead and end it now. Goodbye.
Goodbye.